of the gun, Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second and 21, a lot of ground to cover. Stafford with a play fake to Swift, and he'll set to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
Well, we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked him, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. Not much there, only a yard.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Looked good, though. Now it's 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Good catch by Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and that's something that his teammates needed to see and something he needed for himself. They call him MVS, and they want him to become an MVP type of a receiver. Speed to burn. He can stretch the field. They just need him to be as dependable catching the ball as we saw there throughout the season.
Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Going back to Love. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Love now to pass on 1st down. Complete. It's Johnson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Complete.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. A spin. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
1st down going to the air with Love. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Jarrett Davis. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Love now. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Complete to Aaron.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
3rd and long for Love. Complete to Jones. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
38-yard attempt.
And the 13-year man puts it through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
A first down there on a pickup of 25.
It's a gain of 25 yards. First down, Lions.
Three 0 after one on EA Sports.
Packers 3, Lions nothing.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you off sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Darnell Savage on the tackle. 4 yards on the pickup.
From the 50, it's Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up fourth down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Lions will take over.
20-yard line.
Mike
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
First thrown out for the backup, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. A good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
By the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. To throw again, Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kevin King with a pick. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Flush to his right, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
On play action, love to throw. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to go deep. This is caught at the 20. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 40 yards.
16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. After the penalty, it's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Jaron Kearse in on the tackle. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Makes the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this one will not be handled. It's into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punting.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 38. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back of the 29. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Second and 14. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
For a Green Bay Packer. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Only the Titans converted more red zone opportunities into touchdowns than the Packers last year, and they've got an opportunity here, 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Jordan Love, as the first half is winding down. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And the third quarter will start with a touchback as that one lands in the end zone. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
So many times someone's success is the product of a lot of things coming together really well. And for Aaron Jones in 2019, it all came together for him. He stayed healthy, was on the field for all 16 games, got handed the ball 100 more times last year, and as an end result, broke 1,000 yards in a season rushing for the first time in his career.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. This is Dillon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.